Cancer. This is your 2025 yearly reading. Excuse me, coffee time. So let's just get into it. I have the Rider in the first position for the Lenormand, and I have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse for that first position for the Tarot. Underneath the deck, both decks, I have the Scythe and the Queen of Swords in reverse. Now, the Queen of Swords in reverse can talk about somebody, as I'm knocking things over, can talk about somebody who maybe says that they've gone through something that they haven't, or maybe is not as experienced as they would like to be in some kind of avenue, some sort of I'm trying to look for the word. She may not know everything about a certain subject, but she's not very good at discerning a situation because she hasn't experienced it yet. I wouldn't say she's naive necessarily, but she's in unfamiliar territory in the most positive sense. When she is negative in the reverse, she can be somebody who is uses her wits and her experiences and the information she's gathered to plot, to use her words and her intellect and the information she's gathered through gossip, through underhanded means. She can be somebody who will go out of her way to use that against you, have the upper hand mentally against you. This is somebody who's could be a know-it-all, but that's the worst case scenario. But then with the Scythe there, I feel like it's about inexperience and maybe not having necessarily the best tools for something. The Scythe is about something that comes in sudden. It's quick. It cuts away at things. It's a kind of a martial kind of energy. But it is a tool as well. And it is something that can be painful. So cutting words. Somebody may during the year be kind of difficult to deal with, a little bit keeps you on edge. But this person seems to be, I'm reading them together, so it seems to be either you're feeling like you're faking it until you make it in a certain situation, until you get the right tools or the right information that will help you, the education that will help you in this. And I'm talking about necessarily books and going to school. I'm talking about experience and life experience maybe. This could be also about not experiencing a certain kind of pain, or haven't had experienced something yet. You're getting the tools for it, or you're getting it, you're gonna turn it around fast. When the Scythe comes in, if it's a troublesome person that this is talking about, Cancer, it's saying that this person is going to come in quick, or there's something about her not being there that long. Or maybe she shows up and she's really an editorial. She might also be kind of a micromanagey kind of person. Very opinionated. She's not somebody that necessarily tolerates other people. She doesn't. Queen of Swords in the upright, she tolerates, or at least gives you a chance. This person is very brash. They don't cut corners with things, or not cut corners, but they may be like an intense, very intense person, and somebody who has the upper hand in some sort of situation. It may not be over you, but it might be just in general. You see this play out during the year. She's sharp. She's very smart, very intelligent, but also can be very biting, like very, very biting. So that's what I get from that. I'll come back to it and see. But I really think there's also, it's about tools, sharpening your tools, maybe learning something on your own. It's about, the Queen of Swords is about having experienced tough things in life and having, like, you know, the badge. She wears the badge. She might be a divorcee. I feel like the Queen of Swords in reverse is more of a shrew kind of energy, or a pariah, or somebody who has been disliked and not treated very well and has become kind of bitter. But she's not stupid by any means, but she's not treated very well. She's very sharp with the words. Excuse me if you can hear that in the mic. So we'll just get back into the reading here. So first placement, your main focus, what you're going to be doing. Getting to work this year is going to be one of those things that it's not going to be difficult necessarily, but it's going to be the comings and goings to get to a certain specific kind of job. Also, time management in order to complete or perfect something. You might be working more than one job, so leaving one job to go to another job. I feel like you don't, during this year, you'll probably feel like I'm not giving it my all. Like I'm not getting enough sleep. I feel like maybe I'm always running around everywhere, to and from. And so, yeah. I mean, if you're working 14, 16-hour days, that can be crazy. So, not necessarily for all of you out there, but I just get that, like, there is something to do with visiting places or traveling short distances places and meeting up with different people. And with the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, it's, you just don't have that much to give to something anymore. Like you're working on mastering something, or getting a handle on something, really getting good at something, but it's not necessarily the easiest thing to do, or you're feeling a little bit burnt out maybe, because you're burning the candle at both ends with that Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Or it can also be that you're not really feeling like you're able to get everything done that you normally do because you're having visitors, or you feel accompanied by somebody, or somebody is like interfering with your work schedule or your workload. The normal grind, your normal grind is being interrupted by visitors, and it could be a woman here. Doesn't have to be. I do have the woman and the man present in the reading, and so it could be a couple, or it could be just one person being spoken of in specific. So, but you will be focusing on your day-to-day comings and goings, your kind of where you're going in life with your work, trying to get really good at what you do. There may be some struggles with that. This can also be like an apprenticeship of some sorts, or traveling somewhere to go and learn something, like a trade school of some kind. But if I'm reading it just in the first house, you're going to be feeling like a little bit more flirty, a little more adventurous with life. There's something here about not wanting to work too hard at something. It's almost as if you want to enjoy life, or you get to enjoy life a little bit more. And I know that contradicts what I said earlier, but there's something here about you yourself wanting to kind of experience more, go out and enjoy things, and there's that push pull between work and um, getting outside, maybe. This can also be a message in regards to, or some kind of feedback in regards to how good you're doing at your particular skill, craft, trade. You might be, like I said, apprenticing or doing something where you're being critiqued for something. The Queen of Swords is very hypercritical, and this is the, with the sight there, it's as if you're like just starting something out in terms of work, and you are having to work harder than everybody else because you know less and have less experience. That's probably what it is. So second house, also what crosses the situation, a boss-like figure, an authority figure. This person could be a burden as well, or they might be heavier set, like in terms of what they expect from you. I was gonna say heavier set as like a physicality, like a description, but I don't see the bear anywhere. So yeah, they're watching you, and you feel like you're being micromanaged, like I said earlier. Like there is something here about having to be perfect. That's another thing with the Eight of Pentacles. It's a Virgoing kind of card, and there's a perfection. There's like an OCD about the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. It's like trying to be so perfect that you're missing the big picture almost. And you're not all there because you're working so hard that you're not taking care of yourself. So it's very important that you get out and go experience life and take a break once in a while. Yeah, because the birds here is about communication being watched, like literally watched by somebody. It could be a couple watching you as well. I don't know if you have two, a married couple for bosses or something. But there's something here about like this authority figure. He's not in the reverse, so he's not like a terrible tyrant, but it's just kind of like, oh my God, please stay away from me. And that could be because you're not feeling up to par with whatever's going on, whatever kind of situation you've got yourself into. Maybe you kind of took a leap into something new that was a little bit out of your normal reach that you would reach for, and so now you're feeling like, oh no, I don't want anyone to know that I'm bitten off more than I can chew. This person seems to be somebody who could also help you in a situation as well. It doesn't have to be just the person that's driving you crazy. There could be some spiritual leader of some kind, or somebody who has a cross to bear. So maybe if you've been dealing with any kind of support group or something, or where other people have gone through things that you have gone through, but they have more experience, or they have more sobriety, or more whatever time under their belt, having dealt with these burdens, these crises, that could also be what this person is. They can be helping you. They can be, their patience might not be too great, but they're there to help you, even though it might seem like it's a burden. And your third, what you're thinking about, what you know about. You're kind of ending some sort of goal for the future, or you're changing the way your wishes are changing for the future. You kind of put them in a box almost, like you're like, okay, well, maybe it's time for new dreams. But even when the star is in the reverse, it's still very positive. So maybe you backburnered one of your goals or your dreams, um, and you're thinking about changing the way you think about it, the way you go about it. Maybe you've changed what you desire, what you want, what you wish for has changed. And that could be because you're maturing in some sort of way, or, could be for a bunch of different reasons. We'll have to look at a little more into it as to why. The talent might be something that you're not thinking you have, or maybe you feel that there's like it's been difficult and you're realizing that you have a talent for something. You were just about to give up on something. But then what you're not aware of is that there is acknowledgement. Someone is a gift. Someone is acknowledging your gifts. If this Queen of Swords is also the Emperor, I can see them as being both the same person for some reason. It's coming through. This person might come initially off as a burden, but underneath it all, they end up being a gift to you. They end up being some kind of, it's very spiritual, because I have the cross and the High Priestess, and I have the cross on her shirt. He has the Ankh in his hand, the secret creation of it all, and I don't know. You're thinking what you want is over. How you wanted things to be is over. That things have changed, but deep down there's a gift here. There's something special being recognized about this situation, this person, this High Priestess in the upright is the keeper of the secrets, right? In the reverse, you can be somebody who's not trusting. You might not be trusting your intuition about this. It might feel good, but look bad on paper, is what I'm thinking. This is also about spiritual gifts. So you might be realizing that you also have some type of spiritual gift. I do have the Magician here as well. Manifestation. Yeah, there's some sort of blessing that is coming to the home and the family life, because either somebody comes into your life, or yeah, it could be a karmic cycle or a return of something. There is here this woman here, and she's carrying a heavy load, or she is the difficult, there's an ending that needs to happen in order to get to the next cycle, and it's a struggle to get there. I don't know if in the past you had problems with this woman, or it was a difficult, she seemed like a burden, or the situation surrounding her seemed like a burden. But yeah, there's a visit from this woman, there's a message from this woman, and she might have spiritual sight, just because I have the birds and the sight that is spiritual, sight of spirit. Excuse me. Wishes that are ending, wishes that have changed. The end of some sort of future goals of some kind is what you're thinking. Maybe it's undesirable. Thinking that something is undesirable is changing. Something is changing with this relationship, with this person, with this couple. It's as if you, right as about you're about to give up, things start to get better. Also, the coffin can be about, with the cross there, it can be hard to open something, hard to open your mind to something, hard to you're thinking something's over, but it's not. It's just taking longer to come around. In the near future, I see that maybe you tried to take some action on something that you were emotionally connected to, something that you felt great joy for. No, it's not. It's like something that you weren't enthusiastic about having to do, go through, like having to be nice to somebody because it's obligation, right? It's obligation. But I see that through communicating with this person, you might be nervous about it for some reason. Maybe it's just kind of, I don't know, it feels like a sacrifice of some kind to have to communicate with this person, or it makes you nervous. And Virgo, this is a Virgoan house, and the birds is kind of a Virgoan mercurial energy. So it could be just kind of making you a little bit anxious having to deal with this situation, but it ends up turning out a lot better than you ever anticipated. With the sun there, that's like success, happiness, joy, childlike wonder, enjoyment of the good times. It's the setting for growth. It sets up everything to grow. And here we have that tree. It's gonna have to do with family. This is also in the house of the sibling. I believe the third house is siblings, right? There could have been an ending with a sibling from prior, or there could have been some sort of ending or changes to the way you saw the future with this person. They could be an Aquarius. They don't have to be. They could portray kind of Aquarian, and this person is different. This person is different than you. If I had the Seven of Swords there, I'd say they're very unique. They're almost odd, maybe. Like they don't fit. But that something changes about your mindset about it, or the way you see the future changes in some sort of way, or your future goals change in some sort of way. But yeah, what you didn't want to reach out, you didn't want to go forth and offer or do something nice for somebody, because in the upright, the Knight of Cups is about, it can be about an advance towards somebody. It could be romantic, but it can also be just offering up some sort of emotional warmth to somebody, sharing your good nature with somebody, making that gesture of love, right? This is like either a not received gesture of love or an inability to express our love for somebody because we are feeling a certain way about them, or we're feeling shy maybe, or, and I just feel like with the birds here, it's talking about that, like the inability to really get in touch with our emotions about the situation, and let go of any hangups we have with it. I guess communication opens that up, or maybe after you get to talking to somebody at work or in your day-to-day routine, they could be watching your kids as well. This could be about any kind of situation where people watch people's kids, like family comes to stay with you and they watch your kids. You might not be happy that they're there, or you didn't want to have to bring your kid to daycare or something, but there is somebody here watching them, keeping an eye on them. Children, yeah. I mean, I don't have any kind of specific. I do have the woman here who's carrying a big burden. So maybe somebody was pregnant or is pregnant, and you're just figuring out, you know, who's going to watch the baby now while we're at work. You didn't want to ask somebody to do it for you. You were worried about putting that on somebody else, or it seems like a couple will be watching your children if that's the case, or like it could be an older couple, or you yourself could be watching or babysitting somebody else's kids even though you initially didn't want to. Yeah, because it seems like it was kind of almost a burden, feeling obligated, feeling put upon to watch somebody, or to make somebody happy in some sort of way. If this is about work, it's about not wanting to go out of your way to make other people happy, or maybe you are doing that and that's what's causing a little bit of frustration kind of, energy in that day-to-day life. There's a lot of busy happenings with the birds, and like I said, you will be, maybe working 2 jobs, or the schedule will get busier. You may have visitors come to stay with you, and that puts upon you, and there's extra energy coming in and out of the house, and there's a lot going on. But the sun there, it like kind of softens everything. It makes everything a bit brighter and happier. This can be about kind of like a wind blowing into your life and cleaning up your life too. The lights turned on, whatever wasn't working, or whatever was dirty and unclean and not purified gets picked up. Keep going back to that Scythe and the Queen of Swords. Yeah, it's like Mary Poppins, but like grumpy. That's what I'm getting. She's grumpy. I almost want to pull more cards on. I think I'm going to pull one card from I normally don't do this because it's like the readings get so long, but I want one more card for the 4th house. The 4th placement, please. For Cancer, 4th placement, 4th house. help me clarify the fourth? Oh, that's too many. Sorry, that's too many. This deck is huge. The Minchiati. Okay, let me get my hands on it. That's way too many. We're not doing that. Hell no. Yeah, there's something about cleaning up here. I don't know if it's karmic shit. Because I have that whip and the broom, like, in the 8th house. The 8th placement. Other people. Your tyings into other people. Like, what is this? I'm going to move this down. Back where it was. Just one card for this High Priestess and the bouquet. One card for the High Priestess and the bouquet. I'm going to say 2. 5 of Cups. And the 2 of Wands. There's a new beginning with something having to do with the family or the home. This could be a person that's involved in this. Potential Taurus energy. Some kind of regret here. Some kind of sadness and loss that you felt. But now there is new potentials. There's like a choice that needs to be made in this situation. This can be about grieving somebody as well. It could be a Taurus. I'm thinking it's either in the time of Taurus that this could happen, or yeah, like April. I'm getting April with this. When the flowers come up. So if not, I mean, I don't want to say that. I just have the coffin, the cross, and the bouquet, and that just reminds me of a funeral. And the 5 of Cups is about sorrow and grief. So loss of something, emotionally feeling the loss of something. And the 2 of Wands is about new potentialities, new paths, looking out to decide where you're going. So it could be that somebody's passed on, but it could be just about your home life, about not feeling like you've lost something within the family or the home. And grieving that. But the bouquet here is like a gift. It's like there's some kind of gift that is being revealed to you through this loss, about new potentialities, about there could have been a funeral and someone came to stay with you for the funeral, to go to the funeral, and they end up being a blessing in some sort of way, because the bouquet is also about talents. Oh, and also the 2nd house is Taurus too, and that's about talents. So, and skills. So, yeah, something here about noticing the value of something, the value of something being revealed to you by means of loss, by means of somebody opening the door to something. Okay. All right, your advice is to be resourceful, to look at what's available to you in order to clear out any muddled energy, confusion. I do think that there is something here about cleaning, because I have this clouds card and the broom close to each other. It just feels like there's a lot of dust being kicked up. There's a lot of energy being kicked up right now. It's saying that, like, what you might find something that you can't, that you think you don't have. There's like resources available to you. It's a lot about resources here. The second house of resources, there's a burden of some kind, having to do with being in charge of something. Maybe somebody, it could be somebody else, but this could also be you, feeling burdened by the responsibility that has been put on your shoulders. So it's saying maybe ask for help. I did have the key at the bottom of this, that when I picked up these cards, see, it's right there. So finding a solution to something. And before I started your reading, which I didn't mention, I don't think, I was shuffling the tarot cards, and I had somehow misplaced one of the Lenormand cards inside that deck, and it was the clouds, which is about being hidden, things being muddled, unseen. And then as I was shuffling, the sun card also popped out at one point to me. So it's about something that's been confusing or hidden or muddled or depressing, unclear, is now getting a light shine down on it. I have the sun card here in the tarot and the sun card from the Lenormand very close by, and they're both in your outcome area. So there's light being brought to a situation. There's great changes. I have the death card, which is change. I have not the death card, the coffin, which is change, and I have the death card, which is transformation, change, transitioning. That's another reason why it could be somebody passes and it brings things closer together again. It's like a cycle here, a karmic cycle, something going on where there's something that's happened before. Maybe it gets undone, or it gets rewound up in some sort of way. This is also about somebody in your life maybe trying to make it seem like everything's okay, but really they may be trying to hide the fact that it isn't. With the Magician in the upright, though, they're not intentionally trying to manipulate anybody or hurt anybody. It's more of they just maybe want things to be not so visible. But I don't think that that's going to work, because I have the birds here. I have 2 sun cards. So whatever it is, and the High Priestess in reverse is about secrets being revealed. A blessing of some kind being revealed. So somebody's been trying to keep something secret in relationships, maybe. That's maybe not bad news, but they've just been keeping it. Anyway, I don't know exactly what it is. I don't want to pull any more cards necessarily. All right, so the 8th house, or the 8th placement. Other people, what they're thinking about your situation, their input in your situation. Other people are seeing you as missing an opportunity to do something that you love or start something that you love, because you don't have, because you're going to school, or because you're apprenticing about something, or you're trying to manage your finances. You're not quite there yet. You're working hard. I see this as like basketball almost, but the net's down. So you're unable to take your shot because you're still not exactly where you want to be, where you need to be. That's what other people are thinking. That's not necessarily what's the case. You might have been turned down for something that you really, really hoped for, wished for, and they're seeing that as being like a painful cycle or something. This also could be about alcoholism and um, you having given up drinking, because this whip can be about toxic patterns and repeating cycles, and in the eighth house can be about drugs, addiction, um, and you're getting some sort of acknowledgement of where you are in the place of your development with something tangible. So this can be like I don't know what they call it in AA, or somebody in your life could also be, they could be talking about this. Um, this is like that badge, you know, can literally be about war too. The eighth house is about war as well, and having to fight for something. So having to struggle to, having learned a lot of painful lessons as well, karmically, within love, within, um, you know, maybe you've been single for a long time, or this other person has been single for a long time. There's something here about that. This also can be about, and if it was the Page of Wands, I would definitely say it, but I'm getting a vibe of like somebody who's not really wanted to be emotionally available or start anything too emotionally serious in terms of their physical relationships, and that being something that like maybe you're still on the learning curve with that, like about how you share with others. Maybe they think that you're not good at sharing with others, giving generosity to others, because maybe they've seen you as being somebody who is unable to help because of the financial restrictions. I want to say like could be compulsions as well. So like they see you as not being very happy with some kind of recurring cycle or some kind of work that you have to put in order to learn something or to study something. But the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups is still a very positive card. It's just, it's like a fountain to me. Like, it's still like a fountain. It's almost over emotional. Over emotional, argumentative with the whip here. And being like immature with finances. So that's what people might be saying, but that doesn't necessarily mean. And this is also a card of gossip too. So this could be having to deal with gossip in the workplace, people thinking you're saying you're immature or something about something. This is saying to keep things maybe private, that you're working on manifesting as well. So, or keep things hidden, keep things cloaked. It's almost like be a magician, you know? Sleight of hand, keep things under wraps. At least with your relationships and at work, maybe. In the home life, I see a blessing being revealed, some secret coming out, it might be shrouded in kind of something not so pleasant, but all right. Ninth house, ninth placement, hopes, dreams, fears. Saving for a home, growing your financial legacy. It really has a lot to do with the family and the home. You might be inheriting a home. Or you hope to inherit a home. This is also about spiritual values and your family values as well, and the legacy of your family. So this seems to me like growing closer maybe holding on to what you've got in terms of family. Also has to do with health, right? So you're trying to take good care of your physical form. You're trying to make sure that you have everything you need. You might not want to spend on, you're hoping you don't have to spend on some sort of health matter or family matter as well. Like you're not really being, you might want to be a little stingy with your family in terms of if this is a family's dynamic over here. You're not wanting to put out much more than you already are for this situation. But it seems like there's growth here with the tree. It's as if there's like things get better. The sun's next to the tree. I feel like it's this warmth, this happiness that comes in, you weren't expecting or you weren't willing to kind of go out of your way for initially. It brings whatever communication is bringing happiness. There's like this growth and potential for better things to come your way. And it's also about abundance and just really feeling like things can just keep getting better. That you'll always have enough because you planted the seeds that keep bearing fruit. You know what I mean? Like you might be afraid to give up a few seeds. You're like, no, I want to eat these, bitch. Don't touch my seeds. But you, maybe somebody else kind of pushes you to do it. I don't know why I keep getting that. Some pushy bitch in this reading pushes you to make certain moves in terms of your, this is your long range thinking, and you might want to stay put for some reason. You're not really thinking of traveling. You're kind of a homebody right now. You're more about growing what you already got. You're not really looking for, unless it's financially related, you're not really looking to leave what you currently, you're guarding what you're growing right now. This is also big. This is like, this could be an inheritance that's quite large as well. Because the Page of Pentacles is a messenger, right? It could be about money because it's a tangible thing. It also could be about toxic, like, cycles, even though there's love present in a karmic situation. Could have to do with family as well. But cleaning up that, there's like a cleaning up here, and the health of a situation gets better. All right. There's stability. Like, you're hoping for stability. Your spiritual values, you're kind of set in your ways about something. But there's some kind of growth here. You might be restricting your own growth, so keep an eye on that, Cancer. There might be something that you need to, like, kind of loosen your grip on, otherwise it can't flourish. And that would be like a Sagittarian kind of thing, like anything to do with travel and learning about other cultures, and you might be learning something on TV or on the computer as well. I also see this as like somebody hugging a tree. These are your values, so, and what you're sharing. It's really about sharing with family, I think. Not wanting to share money with family. I really do think that's what it is. could be the inheritance of some kind or something. I don't know. A woman visits who's seen as a burden or difficult in some sort of way, or a challenge, something because of something heavy that happens. Um, and she's looking for a family, or she's communicating about the family, something about the family. There's messages about the family. An ending that is kind of a burden that is ended, and then there's a gift involved, or some kind of death or ending that's is a burden, but also there's a blessing in it. There's some kind of karmic cleanup going on. There's growth and potential for great success, or the realization of something. Now, I'm saying the realization because I have two sun cards. They're not exactly the same. They do mean a lot of the same things, but the semantics of the Lenormand are different than the tarot. The tarot is more psycho, like subliminal. Lenormand is like straightforward, pretty much. I'm seeing the work sectors having the sun cards. There's something being brought to light about purpose, about day-to-day routine. There's something being expressed here communication wise about not wanting to, or feeling nervous about going forward and offering emotional, expressing yourself emotionally with something. Maybe being afraid to, or being shy even. There could be like a delay in emotional expression, or something like that. Having a difficult time expressing oneself, communicating. In the workplace, in the day-to-day routine, having to do with health as well. So any health matters having to do with difficulty with social things. There's this other thing that's going on in your reputation, your career, you're standing out in the world, like a light bulb moment about somebody else in your work sphere, somebody else being involved in your reputation, your reputation being cleared, your name being cleared for something. There is something about realizing what's happened. There's some, and I did say a spiritual awakening of some kind, didn't I? Or learning about yourself, like what you want for the future, your wishes, changes with what you desire in life, your values are changing. This is also about gardening as well. There's something here about you're planting a garden this year. But yeah, there's something here about somebody else going through something in the family. It's not going to happen to you. It's going to happen to somebody else. Or somebody else going through something at work. Maybe they're put on the spotlight's put on them in some sort of way. A realization of something being over. The family or the home or it could be a friend's family as well that's going through this. There's some sort of recovering for a family or for a private private recovery of some kind. A coworker might have an accident where they have to you might realize that something happened to somebody and they need to recover from something. They're in good spirits if it's not having to do with, like, I think the funeral thing is separate. But there is some sort of like great realization in career. You might actually, it might just be speaking about realizing that somebody else was meant to do what they do in career, or because it is, the tower is external, like upside down. But the Eight of Pentacles is also in reverse. And that's like about, in the upright, it's about burning the candle at both ends, like being overworked in the reverse. Something shiny here. The sun is shining, the crown is shining with that little explosion underneath the tower, or at the top of the tower, but it's underneath it now. So it's realizing, finding the gold in a situation that wasn't pleasant, that happened outside of yourself, that isn't, or it could be like suddenly realizing that you have the clarity, you have the answers to a situation that has to do with your purpose, your destiny out in the world. Could be somebody else falling from grace, and you seeing it, being there to watch it in career, and in kind of like a public way. It's public humiliation of some kind. I don't know. Somebody becoming famous as well for their job, for their reputation, that you know. Somebody at your job, or maybe it's just somebody in the family that becomes quite well known for something. It feels like in your social life and your, friend circle and your associates and everything, there's some sort of recovering at a place. Somebody could have had some kind of drug addiction or alcohol addiction, and they're going to, I don't know, because this would be over here. There is some sort of recovery though, or an easing of pain. This could have to do with somebody in the friend circle, or one of your coworkers going through rehab, hospice. Maybe they had it could be like a rehab facility where somebody's injured themselves and is now going to stay at a rehab facility so they can heal a painful situation. It's also freedom. So releasing yourself from trauma or pain within the family, within the home, feeling free of that. Feeling like whatever depressing things that have been going on with the family are starting to heal. There's a healing that's able to take place now. Yeah, it's definitely something to do with the family, because they do have the tree and the house together, and that's indicative of family matters, personal family matters, immediate family. Tree can be extended family as well, so this can involve the extended family, but I feel like with the you want to keep things close knit. Keeping family close knit is now a spiritual value of yours, or becoming one. You're changing the way you think about things, about your future, about what you desire, what you wish for, what you want. Now we have the Death card here and the 12th. This is great spiritual transformation, change. But with the Six of Swords, it's also about transitioning. It's about moving out of a difficult time and into calmer waters. The Death card can also be about crises and having to deal with kind of an ending that was absolutely necessary, a change that was absolutely necessary, but the process of it obviously is not always pleasant. Six of Swords can also be about in this house placement can be about leaving your country of origin to go and be somewhere else that's safer. So it's like, and then this man here, this man and this woman are, how many signs? If I'm to read it like the Lenormand only, it's realizing this man in the family is watching over you that has passed, or he comes to visit, or there is some sort of something hidden about somebody who's made some great changes in terms of the movements that they're making. That could be a male identifying person, or this is also the collective, right? This is like everything. This is also about institutions. So this could be a hospice nurse that this is talking about. This can be a man that's going in hospice. Those are institutions of service that provide care for others. Can be about an ending to the struggle, for this man in terms of getting the help he needs with something, so that he can get on his way again, get on his feet again, get on his way into the next cycle of existence for him. Yeah, something about a woman messaging, visiting, communicating about some sort of burden in the family, or she's a burden and she's kind of gossipy and or chatty and or annoying in some sort of way, and or at least starting to communicate more with this person. There is, and it could be that she's having romantic difficulties, or a relationship has come to its brink, like she's trying to make her way somewhere, or she's about to give up hope on something in terms of her. I mean, it could be that she's kind of a lavish person. She likes to gamble, maybe. She's a risk taker. Could be that she's burdened by love as well. There's something about her. Maybe she's just carrying a lot, and she has this is a romantic love kind of situation in this house, but maybe it's coming through in a different way. She might be pregnant as well, coming to stay with the family. I have a couple cards that indicate movement. I don't know necessarily if it's of the home. It could be just this woman that they're talking about, or this person here. I do have the man and the woman, so these people can be she could be someone's mother too, just because she's in that house of child, and you could be the child of her. But there is something here about changes in everything. This is a big year of change. So trying to like make sure I don't miss anything. Yeah, and there's something about cutting out, difficulties, cutting through obstacles, this woman not willing to compromise, and you're waiting for something else to come in order to, you have bad memories about something. I think this is just about the past. Life, obviously being in the present and happening in the future, etc. That's what we're talking about. But the past and painful, traumatic situations that maybe you were too young to understand or to get a grip on. But now there's changes in your mindset about the past, what that was, and what you want the future to be. I see this couple here. There's this big change with this man who's making moves to better his life in some sort of way, or change his life in some sort of way, or change what journey he's on, right? And this woman here is kind of a challenge, or she's carrying a lot of extra burdens. She might be kind of a creative person as well. Maybe she does stuff that requires tools. Like I said, there's something here about tools or hobbies or maybe she has a side job and she's coming to stay. I mean, how many animals do I have? I have the birds, I have the horse, the sixth house with the birds. Yeah, animals could be involved in some kind of career setting for her, but it's like she's carrying a lot right now. She's doing a lot. And she's kind of a drama queen. she's like over the top. She's creative. She's a drama queen. She's over the top. She's kind of childlike as well. She might take some risks or gambles. She's very loving, but she invests in a lot of kind of, maybe she's got like a lot of baggage. This might be her. She might be a little bit scorned, a little bit bitter. Not her usual self, maybe. And she's very cutting, so I don't know. I feel like she might not be very social. She might be a little bit standoffish, but the more you open up communication with this person, or you try, things get better. You might not want to share. You might not want to be so open at first, but things do get better. Family gets better after some kind of challenge or ending. Things get better. Your personal life gets better. There might be some realization at work. Somebody might get hurt. Somebody might have to go to leave the situation or quit, or get, something happens where you end up getting looked at in a better light, or for a position that's you might get promoted, or some kind of progress, or people are watching you kind of shine in that department, or they're seeing that what you bring to the table in terms of your, I don't know, the energy you bring to something. They're seeing that. You might feel like you're faking it until you make it in some sort of career situation. Maybe like you bit off more than you can chew. But you will have help from somebody. They might be a bit micromanagey, but they will be helping you to kind of giving you their eyes, giving you an editorial, and helping you, refine and finesse your work more. Um, there could be messages about the quality of your work, or like some kind of news coming in about something having to do with your past, something you wrote in the past, and not wrote in the past. Maybe it is something you wrote in the past, but that really wasn't what I was trying to say. It's more about like some kind of formal, it could be a resume. I don't know. I mean, maybe you Uber drive. Maybe you, I don't know, maybe you're making your own hours now doing that, like driving people places, taxi, Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, it does look like he's driving a car when it's upside down. Got his hands on the wheel. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're also, somebody's involved in working with animals. This could be like somebody who's a groomer, cuts hair. This is also, like, I always look at her. I know it's upside down, but she looks like she's getting her hair cut. You know what I'm saying? First, it could be a hairdresser of some kind, or work with animals. This is also about, like, reminds me of hair with this mop business. Broom. And he's got some shaggy ass hair. I don't know. This is routine care of some kind. Routine investing in somebody else's. Yeah, somebody's quit drinking or something, or somebody's doing something differently, or going to school for something new. There might be some arguments about inheritance. You'll be very chatty at work, I think. I think in your work life, you're going to be chatty. You're going to be, it's going to be busy this year at work. Your mind is changing about something. You yourself are the bringer of good news, or bringing, it's like you become you're holding back less. You're becoming more emotionally available to people. You're going to realize that you have a gift for something, or you inherited something in the family, or that there's some sort of talent or skill or resource that you had that you didn't know you had available to you. It's going to be revealed to you this year. You might be romantically seeking this woman. She might be somebody who is an entrepreneur of some kind. She has a lot on her plate. Your relationships might be kind of confusing because somebody might be shy. They just might not want to show you all the cards that they have on the table. Like, they want to keep things mysterious for some reason. Be careful of bad habits with that broom and whip in the house, but I think you'll be cleaning up those bad habits. It could be about spending habits as well. Or learning to invest in things, learning about something that maybe not, that didn't interest you before. There's an investments that are growing. There could be some sort of power outage at your work at some point this year. Don't know why that's coming through, but it is. A family friend could either pass away or be recovering from some sort of surgery of some kind. Your spiritual beliefs are going through major, major changes. You're going out of feeling like whatever hang-ups you had with one philosophy on spirituality, this you're getting what's the man card represent? He represents woman's intuition and receptivity. He is about action. You're taking what you're thinking and kind of you're making choices, you're making moves about it. There's something here about changes in terms of your spiritual philosophies. All right, Cancer. I think that's all I got. I hope you have a great December and a really great 2025. I hope you get everything you want and more. And thanks for stopping by 3 Wicked Magpie. Bye.